students, welcome to today's session. This is Sweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu. Hope all of you are doing super duper amazing, guys. So today we are going to start with the triumph of surgery, which is one of my favorites because I am a great animal lover. So what about you guys, animal lovers? Please make some noise in the chat box and give me a quick high five. So let us start, guys, without further ado. And I hope you have already visited the Umang series related to the triumph of surgery, right? And I have also done this chapter in the English channel, so I think you have also visited that, right? So with that, now you are absolutely ready to have this revision series, right? So welcome, guys, to the most awaited series, that is Printex Pre-Boards 2020. Okay, so today in the session, in this Sprintex Pre-Boards 2020 session, we will be talking about the extract-based question, the short answer questions for 3 marks questions, and of course the long answer that is for 5 marks, right? So get set ready, guys, for your most super duper amazing Sprintex Pre-Board series. And this is the schedule of the Pre-Board series. That is, we have already completed till the proposal. I think you have already seen, right, all the sessions and not missed out on any of the important topics. And talking about the other subject schedule, this is the schedule for biology, chemistry, math, and physics, and also social science, right? So it will be ending in some of the sessions, some of the topics are ending, some of the subjects pre-board series are ending on 14th. Physics is ending, I guess, on 13th, and my pre-board sessions are ending on 15th, along with, I think, biology and math, right? So guys, stay tuned and prepare well. Okay, so before moving to the session, guys, moving forward with the session, please don't forget to hit the like button, share the video as much as possible with your friends, because sharing is caring, and the more you share, the more your knowledge is going to enhance, because you can then have a discussion with your friends about the chapter, and thereby with the help of that discussion, your knowledge is going to you can actually see many new possibilities opening up, right? So don't forget to share the videos, guys. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe so that you do not miss out on any important notification. So therefore hit the bell icon as well. Okay, bacha. So talking about the homework answer, guys, thank you so much for posting your homework answers. So this is a model answer which I have prepared for all of you guys. I think this would be of help to you. So definitely the chapter is talking about the principle of forgive and forget, right? Which helps in maintaining a cordial relationship with our neighbors. So initially what happens, you have to talk about the tussle that goes on in the play between Lomov, Natalia, and Shubukov, right? And what happened as a result of the tussle was the fact that they had been wasting their time and arguing on these petty issues. Even the marriage proposal was, kept aside, right? So, but of course, finally, when Natalia got to know that he is the man who had come for, asking for the proposal. Okay, so then she realized that she had committed a mistake. However, she again, started repeating the same chain of things, right? But anyways, what we learned is to enhance, to embrace the principle of forgive and forget, and of course, maintaining a cordial relationship. That is very, very, very important. Moving ahead with today's session, guys, this is a quote which I found connected with the session that we are going to do, a chapter that we are going to deal with today. The more risks you allow children to take, the better they learn to take care of themselves. This is by Roald Dahl, right? So what do you think, guys? What do you think about this? Now, isn't this talking about not pampering your children? Of course, loving and caring for them, but also equally, making them self-reliant. Don't you think that this is talking about not over pampering, okay, and disciplining, okay, disciplining and guiding them properly, so that they can take care of themselves, right? And allow them to take some risks, right? So if you don't allow them, if you keep them always sheltered within your protective fold, right? If you over pamper them, then what happens is they cannot take care of themselves. They do not become self-reliant. They always are dependent upon you, right? Remember the other chapter that we did, which is the other chapter that talked about, risking, self-reliance, confidence, instilling the value of self-reliance and confidence. Do let me know in the chat box, guys, which is the other chapter that you have done. Okay, remember the bird story, the seagull story? Yes, of course, the first flight, his first flight, that was the chapter, guys. So here also it's talking about not over pampering, but of course here it is talking about the dog Tricky, which was also equivalent to Mrs. Pumphrey's son, right? So the who was also equivalent to Mrs. Pumphrey's son, because she shared all her love and care, and she was definitely a lonely woman. So the only creature on whom she shared her love and support and care and over pampered him is, of course, her dog Tricky. So here we come with the first chapter. I mean the first extract, guys. I tried to sound severe. Now I really mean this. If you don't cut his food right down and give him more exercise, he is going to be really ill. You must harden your heart and keep him on a very strict diet. Now, since I got a lot of requests from you guys asking me to actually tell you from where exactly, I mean, from if I'm taking any question from previous year question paper, then which year has the question been asked? So therefore, I have made arrangements for that as well. So this was asked in CBSE, in the year 2014. Okay? So let me see. Let me have a look at the question. But of course, this is the extract. I have made few changes in the questions, but the extract is same. Okay? So why did the speaker try to sound severe? Quickly tell me the answer in the chat box, guys. To make Mrs. Pumphrey consult the speaker for the dog's treatment, to frighten Mrs. Pumphrey, to make Mrs. Pumphrey take his advice seriously and act on it, or both 1 and 3. So 1 and 3 means this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Okay? Please tell me the answer. Let me see. I think this is a bit confusing for you guys. So let me see how many of you could answer this correctly. So how many of you actually said in the chat box that this is 1 and 3? The answer should be 1 and 3. And how many of you said that this is option number 3? I think this is confusing for you guys. So let me show you the answer. The answer is only option number 3. Okay, to make Mrs. Pumphrey take his advice seriously and act on it. It's option number 1 is not correct. To make Mrs. Pumphrey consult the speaker. No, this is not correct. Okay, the speaker tried to sound severe so that Mrs. Pumphrey takes his advice and acts on it on her own. It's not because he wanted Mrs. Pumphrey to consult him. Okay, it's only he wanted Mrs. Pumphrey to act on his advice. What was his advice? To cut down the diet, okay, to make him exercise, to discipline him basically, right? So that is the correct answer. How many of you have got this correct? Give me a quick high five in the chat box, guys. Moving ahead with the next question. For whom was the advice given and why? Very simple. For Tricky, because he had become obese. For Tricky, because he was very mischievous. For Tricky, because he was biting everyone. Or all of the above. Very simple question. Let me see how many of you can get this right. Okay. So answer is definitely because he had become obese. He had become obese, unhealthy, right? So that was, of course, the advice was for Tricky. Okay. Question number 3. This is the question. Find out a word which is the synonym of serious. Synonym, please note, synonym means word having the same meaning. Okay. Options are hardened, severe, exercise, none of the above. What do you think is the answer, guys? Let's have a look. It is severe. So severe means serious. Okay? So this is the answer. How many of you have got all the 3 options correct? Give me a quick high five in the chat box. Okay. So that means you have scored 3 out of 3. Those of you who have got all the 3 answers correct, you've scored 3 out of 3. Now let's move to the next part, that is the 2 marks questions. Okay? What made James Herriot, James Herriot is the narrator, okay, as well as the author, as well as the veterinary surgeon. Okay, so James Herriot is the narrator. Please remember this point. The author and the veterinary surgeon. Okay? So what made James Herriot expect a call from Mrs. Pumphrey? So what are the points that you need to write here? Come on, tell me, let me know in the chat box. Of course, because he was obese. He had seen Pumphrey that he had become very obese. And what else? What else? So she was also not trying to listen. She was not very serious about Pumphrey's health, right? So Mrs. Pumphrey's careless attitude, right? Right? And let us have a look at the answer, guys. So see, he was sure that extra diet and no physical activity would soon put Tricky's health in danger. Moreover, Mrs. Pumphrey did not seem to show any seriousness towards the narrator's suggestions, right? The narrator had suggested few steps for Tricky, right? To cut down exercise, to maintain a strict diet, right? But she was not at all serious about all this. And as anticipated, Mrs. Pumphrey called the vet a few days later. Okay? So now let us move to the next question. That is also for 2 marks, guys. Do you think Tricky was enjoying his stay at the hospital? Yes or no? First, tell me in the chat box. Do you think he was enjoying? Yes, no? Definitely he was. He was enjoying. So now pick out the instances from the chapter which makes you think that he was definitely enjoying. Definitely his friendship, despite being of a a hybrid, well-maintained dog, he befriended, his befriending shabby household dogs, okay? Then the games that he played, okay? So playing, okay? And at the end also, you have to talk about the end also, when the narrator had come to receive Tricky so that he could hand him over to Mrs. Pumphrey. At that time also he saw him sitting with the other dog, surrounded by the other dogs. So definitely, see, he had befriended a gang of shabby household dogs. Then you need to mention the names, the games that he played: bowling over, trampled, and squash. So he loved that, those games. I mean, he loved being bowled over. He loved being trampled on. So that is how the dogs play, right? The dogs and the cats also. So he had become very energetic. He was transformed into a healthy dog, right? And he used to play and run all along. And even towards the end of the stay, the narrator saw that Tricky was sitting with the other dogs. So that was all, guys, for 2 marks. And now we start with the next section, that is the 3-mark question. The first question is, what kind of treatment was given to Tricky? Did it help in his recovery? So about the treatment, of course, it was natural treatment. Okay, natural treatment without any surgery, right? And you have to describe the process, okay? And then did he help in his recovery? Of course, you have to talk about how he transformed. So please talk about his transformation. So definitely that proves his recovery. So Tricky was given a non-medical treatment, that is, as I called it, natural treatment. His diet regimen was altered depending upon his body's response to it. He was kept on liquid diet for the first 2 days, and then his diet gradually increased. This treatment helped Tricky because it started building up his energy, right? And then finally his transformation into an energetic, hard muscle dog just in a fortnight. All right, guys, next question. Before moving to the next question, guys, do let me know if you are enjoying the session and you want to join us. And gain 100% marks and 100% knowledge, make your learning very systematic, then what you need to do is just visit the link in the description box. You are going to avail unlimited live classes with fun and high level quizzes. You can compete with the students throughout the world. You have interactive replays with live quizzes and leaderboards. You can have downloadable content, premium downloadable content with handwritten notes of master teacher, and doubt solving quality. Okay, so that means no more problem of your doubts remaining unsolved, because we in our platform we have made an entire team devoted and catering to only and only this problem of your doubt solving, guys. So you can now solve your doubts live in the class with the help of our super amazing class teachers, along with of course the master teachers. And after each and every session you can get assignment solving, which would enable you to understand the concept clearly, to gain clarity in the concept. That is very, very important for your future, definitely. So we care for your future, not just for your present. Okay, so 9th and 10th, these 2 years are very crucial, guys, to build up your base so that you can have that benefit in the future as well. So you get 5,000 plus micro courses and free crash courses for competitive exams, and more classes in less price. That is the speciality, guys. So just visit the link in the description box and pin comment. Use the coupon code SWRPRO. This coupon code will help you to avail the classes only at 2159 per month and 5599 for 3 months, where you save 14%, guys, and which actually comes down to 9 rupees per class for 3 months and 11 rupees per class for 1 month, which you will see is cheaper than even a packet of Lays. So what are you waiting for, guys? Just visit the link in the description box. Use the coupon code SWRPRO. Resuming back to the session, guys, last question for 3 marks. This is, how can you say that it was hard for Mrs. Pumphrey to part with her doting pet? What are the points that you can say? Please tell me in the chat box. What are the points that you can mention here? Come on. I'm going to write all the points right now. So, of course, her extra care, okay? Extra care and pampering for Tricky. That means, all the snacks that she used to give, like cod liver oil, right? So mention the snacks, right? Snacks in between the meals, right? Especially for Pumphrey. Then he had separate bed, okay? Clothes, right? And then when she came to know that he was ill, then she and the narrator said that he had to be taken to the hospital. She almost fainted, okay? Fainted when after hearing about Tricky's Tricky's situation. That is, he is going to be taken to the hospital, right, for treatment. Okay, so she did not want to part away. And what happened is, when the narrator came, she started throwing all his belongings, right, so that they could all be taken away along with Tricky, so that he does not face any problem in the hospital, right? So throwing away all his belongings. That is also a point which you need to mention. Okay, to be taken along with him. Okay, right, to in the hospital, right? So Mrs. Pumphrey treated her dog Tricky as her own child. She loved him very much. It was very difficult to see him in such a situation. She was distraught when she heard, to make a decision. She had to make a decision to hospitalize him, of course. It was a terrible and tearful moment for her, definitely. But she agreed. She had to agree for for her betterment of her pet. Okay. Moving ahead is the next question. Now we will come to the 5 marks questions. So pen down the incidents in support of values that we should inculcate from Mr. James Herriot. So what are the values that we can find in Mr. James Herriot? who is the narrator and the author and also the vet, as I told you. He's a very good doctor, okay, good vet, right? Kind, compassionate towards animals. What else? What else, guys? Tell me, come on. In the chat box, please mention the qualities. Okay, kind, compassionate towards animals, good veterinary surgeon, also tactful, right? Very tactful how he handled, the entire situation. Okay, not only for the recovery, not only helping Tricky to recover, but also handling Mrs. Pumphrey at the same time, right? So these are the values that we can also inculcate, right? And selfless nature. Okay, he actually went out of his way to help Tricky recover, right? Which is found very rarely nowadays, right? So going out of his way to help Tricky recover, and that too without any surgery, natural process, which is rarely found nowadays, right? So look at this, guys. Herriot was a capable veterinary surgeon who treated Tricky. He was a very compassionate doctor, wise and sympathetic human being. He showed his capabilities almost immediately when he advised Mrs. Pumphrey to put Tricky on a strict diet after understanding his symptoms. That is very, very important. That is how I told you he went out of his way, right, to suggest, okay, which is not found usually. Nowadays, people are more concerned about only earning money, even the doctors, right? But here we find, uh, uh, Mr. James Herriot, he is, being so good, right? So selfless. So he can also be said to be an understanding and tactful person, as I told you, because he knew exactly how to free Tricky from the spoiling love of Mrs. Pumphrey for his betterment. So he was very tactful in dealing with people as well, right? He does not operate upon the poor dog unnecessarily, which is what nowadays the doctors do, right? Unnecessarily they operate, and so that they could they could actually get money snatch, they could actually get money out of that, make money out of that operation and all. So that is what shows the greedy nature of the doctors nowadays, and so rarely we find these kind of helpful doctors. Okay, so that is what we need to inculcate in ourselves, right? And adopts a practical approach to treat him. Mr. James was a caring and polite individual as he successfully allayed Mrs. Pumphrey's anxiety about Tricky's recovering patiently. He was, in all, a good human being and a successful professional as well. Right? So these are the points that you need to mention for this question. And talking about the last question for today, guys, do you think parents like Mrs. Pumphrey exist? If yes, is it a good thing to pamper children? Why or why not? This has come in CBSE 2012. So, of course, parents do exist. Parents like Mrs. Pumphrey do exist who spoil their child by over pampering, right? And which is not at all a good thing. Why? Because if you over pamper your child, what is going to happen is he would be deviated, and he would always want all his demands to be fulfilled, right? And he would not have that develop those qualities, of self-reliance, then hard work, because he or she will get everything ready made, right? So of course it is not a good thing to over pamper. There should be a line between love and pampering. Okay, so there is a fine line. Okay, fine line between love and pampering. Of course we should love our children, but we should not over pamper. Maybe if we talk about our pet animals, and if, it's true for both animals as well as human beings, right? So let us have a look at the answer, guys. Parents like Mrs. Pumphrey definitely exist. These people spoil their children by fulfilling even their irrelevant demands, right? They spoil their children in the name of love and care. So here you need to exactly say that we need to have love and care, but there is a fine line between loving and over pampering. Okay, they not only feed them junk but also spoil their social habits. So these are the various ways in which the parents hamper their child. the children. This kind of behavior is very harmful for the children. Such overprotective. So protection is essential, but you have to, as I told you, as I began the session with that very fact, that you should allow your children to take risks. Otherwise they would not develop those qualities, they would not be able to take care of themselves, they will always be dependent upon you, right? So such protective parental behavior. So see how you can relate. That is why I always begin with a quote relevant to the chapter, so that you can use those those points from the quotes in value based answers as well, right? So that is my entire purpose. Okay. So, such overprotective parental behavior hinders their growth as adults. In fact, it sows the seed of greed and dependency in them. So, definitely here you can add that idea which I already mentioned in the quote, right? The children should be allowed to take risks so that they can take care of themselves. Beautifully, it is going to fit in this, answer, right? So they become stubborn. They do not learn to value anything. For them, hard work is a myth because, of course, as I told you, that they are getting everything easily ready made. Over pampered children fail to face the hardships of the life later because life has been made a cakewalk for them, right, by the children, by the parents. Pampering children in moderation is healthy. Moderation is healthy, definitely, but too much of extreme is, of course, harmful, right? So you see, when you say too much of extreme, this also takes us to the poem called Amanda. There she was too much, she was not allowed to do anything, too much of discipline, right? And here, too much of too much of pampering. Okay, so both extremes are not good. There should be a healthy balance, right? So it is not just bad for humans but also for animals. It's not just harmful for humans but also for animals, as we have seen in this story. Right, guys? So I hope this is going to help you a lot, guys. So if it works out, then please do hit the like button. And we have today completed in this Sprint Text Pre-Boards 2020 session of Triumph of Surgery. We have completed the extract based question, short answer type question, 3 marks question, and long answer type question, guys. And this is your homework. Excess of everything is bad. It's quite related to the last question that I have discussed today. Okay, so almost the answer would be almost same. It's just you need to mold your answer in the introduction part and the conclusion part according to this question that has been asked to you. Okay? So thank you, guys, and don't forget to hit the like button and comment on the homework question in the comment section. And your next session is going to be on the thief story. Okay? And in the previous session, we have already completed the proposal. I hope you are good to go with that as well, right? So don't miss out the next session, which is going to be on Thief Story on 10th December at 1 p.m. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Just visit the link. Don't forget that. And don't forget to avail the amazing deal, right? So amazing and opportunity to be a part of our Vedantu family. Actually, we are looking forward to see you all very soon in our family, guys. Take care, and don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe. Bye bye. Take care. See you again in the next session.